if you're investing in video content and brand, which is always a step in kind of the growth journey of a business, right? You're doing a lot of direct response work, and you decide to invest in better video creative, and you're going to push on video based networks, whether that's TV or just the digital channels for video, and you may not see immediate conversion a lot of times. So what you're going to want to do is look for other metrics that give you signal into either future revenue or revenue in the moment. A good one would be email sign up rate, right? So you're running a lot of video content online, and you're acquiring more emails than you have historically, directly attributable to whatever that video channel is, or just overall, right? Because your brand is lifted, you're seeing an elevation. So you may not be able to see, whether it's YouTube or Meta or TikTok, wherever you're running video, you may not see that immediate conversion, but you've got to look elsewhere for signal, and the email sign up rate is a good one.
This is a bit of a black hole for a lot of our listeners. Is all right, I'm running videos. I know I'm supposed to be doing this, and maybe I'm a brand that's trying to get to that next level of scale where I've been running website conversion ads straight to a purchase or straight to whatever your ultimate sign up is. It might be like a webinar registration where then they buy on the back end or whatever it happens to be. But in most cases, it's a purchase. You do a lot of stuff in the e-commerce space, as do we, as does Custom and his agency. But it's like that middle ground where they're not really taking an action. It's always, I should be doing it. It's like having my vitamins every single day, but I don't really know what the effect is. Right. But then as soon as you turn it off, all of a sudden everything changes. So that's where, depending on where they are in their life cycle or their business, maybe a third-party tool might be advantageous there.
Right.
But like from your perspective, how do you really do it? Like, let's say that you're running Facebook ads, video, just, brand awareness or like higher level video view, or you're running YouTube ads, but you're not seeing direct sales from that. How do you merge the two and fill in sort of the effect of those things? What's the best strategy that you found?
Yeah, I think a good example would be, you're running video, you're not seeing immediate conversions, but you are seeing email signups, right? For the sake of discussion here. And then you do an email drop 30 days later, or at the end of or whatever time frame when you're going to look for an email revenue boost, right? Hey, is email revenue going up when I drop emails from all those new folks I acquired? Am I generating more revenue than I used to? Really just simple, like very basic way to look at it. The other thing you could look at is, am I getting a higher click-through on my other channels? Like, has my performance increased on other channels? That's another one you can look at. Makes a lot of sense, right? Or am I getting a lot more new visitors to my website than I used to, right? Is my new customer visit rate higher than it used to be, right? So those are the kind of things you're going to want to be looking for. You're looking for some kind of signal around the investment in brand, right? The investment in video content that isn't just trying to get someone to convert that day or that week, right? So you got to find ways to figure out your ROI on that investment.
And it's a challenge to do it. I mean, I think sometimes I equate this question back to a conversation where I had a CEO and a group that I belong to. And he's like, the only way that I ever know if my video stuff is working is if I shut it off. When I shut it off, all of a sudden I don't get any more emails. And then I pay the price 30 to 60 days down the road when they buy through my email drop.
Yeah.
That level of person might be somebody who might benefit from today's show, but like, what would be your recommendation there? Just keep doing it. If you're not doing it, like, this is where so many businesses in that middle ground, they don't really know what to do aside from, I'm going to double the budget and hopefully I get double the emails, or I'm going to cut it off completely and see if my business suffers. And neither way is really scientific, but it is a way to show.
Yeah. 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 I mean, obviously, we created Northbeam to help with that problem, but I would discourage folks from paying for Northbeam or any other software tool without really learning on your own, like starting to have a baseline understanding of what's going on to the best of your ability. Um, and if you are going to invest heavily in growth, then that's where I know, Ralph, you and I were talking offline around when do I need something like a Northbeam or another provider? It's when you're really aggressively scaling or you're just really confused about your efficiency. But I know plenty of brands that are growing and they don't need Northbeam. They're doing fine. They're small, whatever's, generally folks that are still kind of fine tuning, right? We're I think you need software tools when you're aggressively scaling
Right.
and making some big decisions where the risk of not being scientific, like very scientific, is high, right?
Mm.
But I encourage folks to do kind of what we just talked about, which is try to figure it out on your own first.
Try and figure it out on your own. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here today. Like when you actually do need that tool. And a lot of it does have to do with, spoiler alert, it's a business owner mindset of, hey, I've got a great business. I'm kind of happy where I'm at. Or do I want to get to that next level? But I think there's certain gradations, there's certain gradients within that next level.
I think a next topic that we were talking about was, Usama, you wanted to do how to measure YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So YouTube is expensive. YouTube takes a long time.